Una good afternoon, my fellow Ambazonians. Una good afternoon, friends of Ambazonia. Una good evening for all the good people of Ambazonia. Una good evening for Ambazonia liberators. I be una brother Asu, una the press secretary for the Executive Office for Governing Council of Ambazonia. Today, we're on number 4 day for the month of August for 2021. Today, we're on Wednesday, number 4 day for the month of August for 2021. I don't come again. The truth, it don't finally be out. As they talk, not only for so long, people do go hide the truth. The truth, it don't finally be out. The truth, it go catch up with the people. The truth, it don't meet up the Ambazonian people them face to face. Now the conversation this for today, the truth, it don't finally be out. People will ask and say, hey, PS, now which kind of truth you the talk say they say the truth, it don't finally be out. Since 2017, the Ambazonian people don't go through a lot of drama, a lot of confusion, a lot of quarrels. Brothers and sisters, they would argue with each other. Papa and mommy, they would argue with each other. Two good friends, they go argue with each other. Boyfriend and girlfriend, that want to, spare them. The confusion, it not only cause confusion for the public or for social media. The confusion, it reach even within fighters, even within soldiers. Soldiers, they start to argue among themselves. This barrack versus that barrack. This general versus that general. Accusations upon counter accusations. Activists, they join inside the drama. Activists, we Ambazonia, they expect activists for speak the truth to the people. Lead the people with truth. Activists, they join inside the drama. A toxic environment, it will be created deliberately. Finally, as always the case with life, finally, the truth, it don't come off outside. Finally, the dirty works, they don't be exposed. Finally, not be now ask you to make the analysis for can't tell that truth. Finally, not be now Capo Daniel to make analysis for can't tell that truth. Finally, not be now a truth where some person go talk say, oh, it come on a public newspaper. Oh, now because of this, finally, the big truth where the people they be seek them for gain their clarity, for really know where till they go on. Because of the whole purpose that for truth. People they want to know now where till they really go on. Now true or a lie. So, for 2016, when the new face of this generation for Liberate Ambazonia, when the liberation start for ground zero, the Ambazonian people, they rise up, they mobilize themselves, they organize themselves through civil society movements for speak on behalf of the people then. For advocate on behalf of the people then. La République du Cameroon, as always, they will always want to use bribery and corruption. When the consortium come out as the primary voice for represent the interest of the people of Southern Cameroons, the interest of Ambazonia, for advocate for the basic things in where Ambazonia they don't fight for a long time. Two things. The educational system of the Ambazonian people and the legal system of the Ambazonian people. La République du Cameroun, it talks ye as an occupier, as the colonial state, enough it talk with the slaves, enough it negotiate with the slaves. So La République du Cameroun, it talks enough it shit down for down with the leaders of the consortium. Then finally they say, okay, no problem. We go shit down with not down. They send the former colonial prime minister, Philemon Yang. He go for Bamenda. They get a meeting with the leaders of the consortium. By the end of that meeting, La République du Cameroun, he tell them, say, may they go chop sand. La République tell the leaders of consortium, the leaders who they represent Ambazonian back then, he tell them, say, may they go chop sand. May they go kiss electric pole. The occupier, he need to negotiate with the slaves. That night, things they change. They start for hunt leaders of the consortium. Some they run. A few days later, they catch the other one them. Dr. Fontem Neba and Agbobala, including Justice Paul. They nab them, drag them from Buea and Bamenda, drag them, chain their foot them, put them for inside back pickup truck with speed. They carry them, go lock them for Kondengi. Tassan Wilfred, when I be the head for the teachers' trade union, it be succeed as one of the leaders for carry the liberation from ground zero for run with them, for go for diaspora, for save the liberation, for save the people they fight. So Tassan he run from ground zero to the diaspora. In between, when Tassan be there on the run, Mark Barretta and Tapang Ivo, they be held up for that short period of time for continue for talk on behalf of the Ambazonian people. Them. Tassan succeed for show up for Nigeria, and they welcome me. Tassan called for the first meeting with all the nationalist movements. SCNC, Southern Cameroon Youth League, represented by Dr. Akwanga, the Ambazonia Governing Council, represented by Dr. Ebacho, SCAPAC, the organization of Pagoji Dinka, Ambazonia, Republic of Ambazonia, and that time too, Maurice of Bohebet. All these movements, the nationalist movement, they meet up with the civil society movement of the consortium. And they come up with a joint platform for speak on behalf of the Ambazonian people then. And they call that joint platform, say, SCACUF. Tassan become the Secretary General of SCACUF. Then they get conclave number 2 for draw up the agenda. And they change from that time. The agenda change instead for just for ask for the reformation of the colonial educational system, instead for just ask for the reformation of the colonial legal system. The Ambazonian people put their foot for ground. They put their foot for ground For speak with one voice. For speak as one people. For speak, for defend the aspirations and the interests of the Ambazonian people then. After conclave 2, they convened the third conclave, where it transforms Kakuf and they harmonize them into what they call and say the governing council. And the governing council, now this it be supposed to be now the secretariat of all the movements them, where they will be represented by one leader. All the other movements, they go to act as advisors. Now then they go to formulate policies. So for that secretariat of Skakuf, would they transform into the governing council, so that all Ambazonians for the nationalist movement. So now all the nationalist movement, they go get one mob for talk. All these leaders, now then they go to propose proposal into the leadership, where go be now a chairman, and then the chairman now go represent Ambazonia. So all the leaders, they go be now top advisors for formulate policies, so that Ambazonia go speak with one more. They decide, so the time don't reach for the Ambazonian people them for fight for achieve the full independence and freedom of the Ambazonian people them. Now what did they come up with on that? La République du Cameroon, it knows say as Ambazonian people they don't come together, the end of Cameroon occupation don't come. Because since 1961, they never ever one way where people they work together. They never ever one way where people they talk together. They never ever one make where people they speak with one voice and they make one demand. So since 1961, the goal be don't always be now how for divide Ambazonians, now how for infiltrate movements and scatter the movement from inside. When they form the governing council, it will be in a time where La République du Cameroon, you know now say all Ambazonians they work together and they speak with one voice. The game change for around there. The fear enter in. Ambazonians, they become a united people. Paul Buea realized and say, with this kind of mobilization and with this one voice where Ambazonia they talk, the independence and freedom of Ambazonia will come very quickly. And the Cameroon occupation, annexation, and colonialism, it will come to an end. And it will be at the end of the existence of the state, where they call and say Cameroon. Buea know that one very fast. So what did they do? They start to work behind the scenes. First, they destroy the governing council. They destroy the collaborative platform through corruption. How that corruption start? They talk say, okay, since this nationalist movement, they get a lot of power, and then they create Skakuf, and then create the governing council, they must decide how things they go forward. So the first thing what they get for do, now for destroy the governing council, when at the joint platform of all the nationalist movement. The first, they convene people them for diaspora, with the way that then they be leaders of all diaspora community organizations. So if now you be the president for Ambazonia Community Organization for Canada, they go tell you, say, hey, if you bring $2,000, you pay $2,000. Would they invite you, bring there $2,000? Would they invite you, make you join we for another conference for Nigeria? So they take a few Ambazonians and for diaspora, would they pay $2,000 each? They pay their flight, they go for Nigeria. They say, okay, we not change we now, we not make we Una come, all una don't pay $2,000 for come for here. Now una go be the people where una go talk say we want form a government. So they take a start with this corruption. You pay $2,000 as long as you find a way to Nigeria. You go sit down for table. Say now you want form a government. They scatter the nationalist movement. The whole thing start up with bribery and corruption. Pay to play. They sit down. They say they don't form a government. They scatter the nationalist movement. As long as people they be pay for play, pay $2,000 for talk say you don't form a government, the corruption it don't start. The bribery it don't start. The buying of power it don't start. The scatterization of Ambazonia liberation it don't start. They take all the nationalist movements, scatter them. They put these paid players, paid agents, and for here, Cameroon is start for take control of Ambazonia liberation. Now for here, Cameroon start for dictate through these people. They will pay na $2,000. They start for dictate the agenda, and now for here, Ambazonia their wahala is start. It no end for day. Paul Biya realize and say, Ayok Tabe is still be very influential. It still be very influential. What he do? He find contact Chris Anu and Samuel Sako. If una fi helebui, that's what they tell them. If una fi helebui, we catch Ayok Tabe. Ye and Patasan would pound for. If una fi helebui, we catch them. We go take na you, Sako. We go take na you and Chris Anu. We put them for that place where they call and say IG. When I had go over Sweden, no, Sako and Chris Anu, they say yes. They say okay. Una helebui. Na for here it start. Na for here they can't fool Ayok. Siseko Ayok Tabe Julius. When I be the leader for the IG group. Na for here they can't fully make it go back for Nigeria. Ayok go back for Nigeria. The Cameroon Secret Service, they will already be ready. The Cameroon Intelligence Services, the Cameroon Minister of Defense, the Cameroon Minister of Communication, the head of the Cameroon Secret Services, they will already be ready. They work out the details of the plan very well. Bankwi, if you don't be ready, the plan will already be set. Sise could be there for America, for mobilize Ambazonians. Now so they can't tonton, the putty, the fully, drag it with small rope, say make it call an urgent meeting for Nigeria. It can't come out. Hey, Cameroon want talk. Hey, Cameroon want negotiate. Cameroon want talk with you. They can't come out. That's so they fool them. They fool Siseko and all the other one them. They come out. They come out from America. They go back for Nigeria. And all people them where they get common sense. They don't want to say as you dey America so make you not go back for Nigeria. Including Eugene Ufoka. They don't want Siseko. Start for prepared documents for Siseko Ayok Tabe Julius. For apply for a political for a asylum for America, so that he no will go back because they tell you say Nigeria not be safe. But they can't lie for them. Say delegation of Cameroon government, he want she don't talk with them. They come out, they go Nigeria. Poor Biya, he pick them like small ngrom where you don't set trap, or rat where you don't set trap. It can't fall inside. Even when all the advice they give them, they ignore the advice. Paul Biya pick Siseko and the Naira 10 right after New Year for 2018. I think that it been at January 5th, 2018. They picked them the moment they reached that hotel for they hold their meeting. Pick all man up. Carry them. Put them for DSS for Nigeria, the Secret Service for Nigeria. They keep them there for Nigeria. The one way they get Nigeria passport, they leave them. People like Naloabi. They leave that one them. They leave two of them. All the other one them. They carry them. Plus the one way Chris Anu be sell them for Taraba State. They join with them all. They carry them for Cameroon military plane. They go with them back for Yaoundé. When they go with them back for Yaoundé, it not end for day. The story now start for sweet. Who they bring them in? Ooh, Sako, and Chris Anu. They immediately bring them in. They can't take over this group. Where they call and say the IG. When all experts, they be called Ayoktabe, call Patasan, call Panfo, say make una not form government. The moment una form a government, they go infiltrate them. And it go be na the worst thing we una do for una people them. It go cause infighting, it go cause a lot of problem. All top experts, they want them. Say me una not form am. Corruption go start. Thief go start. Instead of focus on the liberation, people they will focus now for maintain the government. That's what they tell them. La Republic say, oh, fine. And I don't do exactly what you want. All right. Ayok, we don't take you. Now, you dey under poor Buea custody. Patasan, you dey under poor Buea custody. Una no go fit for go around and for talk. They bring in Samuel Sako. They bring in who? They bring in Chris Anu. Poor Buea she don't for Yaoundé laugh. I go see Ambazonia independence. We go see. Sako come in here and Chris Anu. Very interesting. They not tell the Ambazonian people their plan. They not tell the Ambazonian people their roadmap. Zero. All wanna know this one. Zero plan, zero strategy, zero roadmap. Zero. Who introduced Sako? Eric Tato. Now Eric Tato be the person who carry Sako, can introduce Sako for Ambazonian people them. And Eric Tato too, they be just moving from La République du Cameroon, they send it from America for that time. All wanna know this one. They can't introduce Sako and Chris Anu. In not reaching 2 months. No plan, no roadmap. Enough to tell the Ambazonian people what you want to do for give them independence. They can't launch my trip to Buea. Because Paul Biya tell them, if we not launch a big program for take all the money we Ambazonia they contribute them, for take them from them, all that money they go send them for ground zero and the guns they go over too much, we no go fit stop the war. The whole purpose of my trip for Buea, now for gather all the money where Ambazonia they be donate them, put them for one big pot. For make sure say the money not reach ground zero. For make sure say they not buy guns, put them for ground zero. For make sure say they not give the forces them weapons on ground zero. The whole purpose of my trip to Buea, guided by Cameroon Secret Services, funded mostly by colonial CPDM elites, for launch Paul Biya a program for hijack the Ambazonian revolution, crash the liberation prematurely, for make Sako and Chris Anu or the IG group the dominant group within Ambazonian liberation, and therefore determine the agenda of the liberation. Now the whole goal is I want Mona listen very carefully. Because the truth don't be out for all now. Truth, it destroy lies. Truth, it destroy manipulation. Truth, it destroy deception. The truth shall set you free. The denial of the truth, now the key people them. When the people they know the truth, but they deny that truth, the people that they die early. When the people they know the truth, they deny that truth. They live in poverty. When the people they know the truth, they deny that truth. The people they live for starvation. They live without progress. They live for confusion. And at the end, they die early death. But when the people they know the truth, they embrace the truth. They courageously embrace the truth and act on that truth. They will become liberated. They go gain freedom. Their life go start for be better. Things go start for work for them. So they set up this my trip for Buea. Now for take all the money from Ambazonia and recruit a lot of activism for promote this campaign. So that at the end, the money no go down for ground zero. At the end, they go chop the money for diaspora. And therefore, the fighters on the ground, they go be frustrated. La République du Cameroun, they go kill most of those fighters. And at the thing that happened. So they raised this $2 million for my trip for Buea. And they squander them all. They embezzle them all. Zero, they go for ground. The only money we go for ground, now for buy generals, now for buy fighters, may they come under this fraud. May they come under this process. Now for corrupt ground zero and make fake promises to those boys, gather those boys, put them for school, and La République du Cameroun, it go kill them. During that period, La République du Cameroun killed 680 fighters under the county by county, local government by local government, because they make so much promises for these boys. The boys, they leave most of the other group them. They can't talk, say that they fight under county by county. And they tell them, same, may they go begin to collect taxes. Now they don't become police, Ambazonian police for ground zero. So these boys, they will go take schools and they will go shit on the way make Sako and Chris Anu send them money. May they buy bullets, may they buy guns, may they arm themselves. No, nothing no come. La République enter, it wipes 680 of these county by county fighters. LGA by LGA fighters. Including Nambere become a victim of this manipulation. The frustrate Nambere, sote Nambere, the corrupt Nambere, frustrate Nambere, lie for Nambere, so that they move Nambere, say Nambere, go for Nigeria. We will send you 20 guns. We will send you money, may buy 20 AK. Nambere go stay for Nigeria 3 months. Nambere go stay for Nigeria 6 months. Nambere go stay for Nigeria 9 months. Nambere finally remain for Nigeria. Being frustrated until La République du Cameroun, he to go buy Nambere, convert Nambere, carry Nambere, bring them back, make Nambere can become one of their propaganda for DDR. Now the consequences in this. All are part of the game plan for prematurely end the Ambazonian resistance, for prematurely use Samuel Sako and Chris Anu as the new agents where Cameroon don't choke them inside Ambazonian liberation for kill the struggle from inside. From 2019, Samuel Sako and Chris Anu, including Eric Tato be the first person where they start for pay plenty money. He spent 1 year for go after Dr. Ayaba. Every day he is sing and say Dr. Ayaba, he work now for La République du Cameroun. Eric Tato built a whole activism now for the name of Dr. Ayaba. All it be being a part of the game plan for kill every other movement, and so that only Sako and Chris Anu, they go be the people them where they will go shit down with Pobia, they talk. They don't take out Ayok. Sako and Chris Anu, they take over the Ayok IG, and the IGBB a very popular group movement during that period. They bring infighting. Why would I think say they say the moment Sako come in? Why would I think say they say he banned the AGOFC, he banned the ADF? Why? Now I know. You know, end for day. The World Bank report, it don't come out for save the Ambazonian people them from the internal confusion. The World Bank report, we don't come out. Now for can open every Ambazonian eye. Now for can open every Ambazonian ear. Now for can open every Ambazonian heart. The World Bank report, we don't come out. It not come out. Now for can please some person. Now World Bank, now the biggest institution, we control all the money for this world. So they not they out for play with a small jama game them. They put the report out straight for let the authorities of the world and the political leaders of the world for understand which they go on for which they call and say the Northwest and Southwest. For understand who be the key players them. Who be the people the way they get the power and who be the people the way La Republic don't buy them over. Who be the people the way that they work with La Republic do Cameroon and who be the people the way that they fight for Ambazonia. The World Bank report, now an official report card presented to the international community about what it go on within Ambazonia, about what it go on within Ambazonia liberation, about what it go on within Ambazonian struggle. The World Bank report, now an international report card, it be undisputable, it be irrefutable. Now international experts, will they be unbiased? They not get any relationship with Ambazonia. They present information based on facts from all the international institutions, including the Swiss, including the HD, including the government of Belgium. All right? So the World Bank report, now a report card for the Ambazonian people them. Now a report card for tell now what it go on. Because when me I can do analysis, when I go talk say, oh, now because say I dey for AGOFC. So I go do analysis where it go be against Sako and Chris Anu. That's what when I will talk. Even if my analysis they be based on empirical evidence. If Capo done a do analysis, when I say, yeah, but Capo, na the lead, na chairman for Ambazonia Defense Forces, na deputy chairman for Ambazonia Defense Forces. So obviously, it go present information for the way it go be against Sako and Chris Anu. That's what I will talk. Even if our work be based on empirical evidence and facts. Now, the World Bank don't can tell you now exactly which we don't preach, we don't propose them, we don't present them, we don't show them for people them since 2019. The Ambazonian War of Independence, it will already be bought over by Buea through the IG group. Since the day where the pick, before the one pick Seseko Ayoktabe Julius, the IG will already be infiltrated. Because they create this movement and they take all people, them give them all kind of positions and power. And those various people, them, they start to become the primary contact from inside. Now, they realize and say, you'll be very popular, they take it out. And Buea put your own people, they will already buy them. Your own people, they will already make a deal with them. It takes jobless people. People, they go for America, they don't go school. They go for America, they don't learn a trade. They go for America, they don't build a career. They don't stay for America, but America not stay inside them. They take hungry people. Which again? Hungry people, starving people, people who did not get a foundation under their foot. They take them, they say, now una new leader this for the IG. Una do the dirty work for destroy the liberation from inside. How many fighters they don't be killed because of the actions of Samuel Sako Chris Anu? How many soldiers they don't lost their lives because of the actions of Samuel Sako Chris Anu? Because of the actions of all these activists who they pretend for the Ambazonian people. How many? Hundreds of fighters. How many generals they don't lost their lives? World Bank now, it don't come for can't tell when I wait till it go on. Now the World Bank report this. Mo put up outside, me almost see him. Make some person not can shit up for here. We don't be brainwashed. Now the World Bank report this. Mo put up outside there for all now. Now in this. Now the World Bank report this. Now in this. Mo put them for outside for every single person. Because now no more debates. Argument not there again. Debate not there again. And argument not there again. Mo put up now in that for all now. I'll bring them up for now. Now they report that. What did the report talk? The World Bank report. It informed the Ambazonian people. Talk say the egg of sea now be the only movement will be hardline. And it did demand for independence for Ambazonia. That's what they talk am. That's what they talk am. Led by Dr. Cho, who lives in Norway, the egg of sea espouses a guerrilla grand strategy. World Bank did tell the Ambazonian people say, the Ambazonia Governing Council, now the only hardline movement we stand for the total independence of Ambazonia, and now the only movement where it don't give the Ambazonian people say they feel use guerrilla tactics. All right? If he use guerrilla tactics, we propose and foretell the people say na guerrilla warfare or through self-defense na I go liberate Ambazonia. That's so the World Bank talk am. It therefore on a front the all man fi read am. It talks say the Dr. Ayaba he want make government northwest and southwest of Ambazonia may be totally ungovernable so that they go change the political calculation for Yaoundé. That's so the World Bank talk am. It talks say very importantly, the egg of sea it also support make Ambazonian forces they carry out action right inside La République du Cameroon. But the IG group, in no one time, in no one make forces they carry out action for La République du Cameroon. That's so the World Bank report it talk am. They talk say as a result of this disagreement, the forces of IG group and the forces of ADF of egg of sea, they are clash for 2018. For December 2018, it led to the death of many soldiers. When I remember for Buea, for December 2018 for Buea, they killed Ambazonian forces, ADF forces them. All right. Now when they can't talk, say they say the egg of sea a hardline stance together with the IG supporters them for diaspora. They don't succeed for silence the IG leadership. And then it go further for talk say the IG leadership it work with Cameroon government for accept federation as a compromise. Now, the World Bank report. The IG group it work with La République du Cameroun for end the war for Ambazonia. So that federation it go be na the thing where they go offer them for the Ambazonian people them. Since 2019, Sako and Chris Anu they entered the deal with La République du Cameroun for 2019, according to the World Bank report. The Sako come in for 2018. Within a year, they already officially signed an agreement with Buea for work together for end Ambazonia resistance, kill all the other movement them, kill all the other forces them for ground, so that Sako and Chris Anu they go carry Ambazonian them, they go sign a deal. Make peace come back for what they call and say Northwest and Southwest, and for Ambazonia them for accept the special status under federation. We now understand why Eric Tato it be the accused Dr. Ayabase na the work with La République du Cameroun. We now understand why Chris Anu every day it talks say the egg of sea and the ADF that work with La République du Cameroun. Now we understand now why then there be the height that they accuse other people them. Whereas not them SSF they work with Cameroon government. All their actions, my trip to Buea, it be been a Cameroon design program given to them. And that's why it will be well funded by CPDM colonial elites. Most of the money we they raise for my trip to Buea, now money we CPDM colonial elites they put them for day for give Sako the confidence we need them for fight all the other leaders and other movements. That's why they took money for that program. Now we understand why they give instructions. May they kill fighters for ground. Now every Ambazonian now understand why they attack other leaders. Why they be the fight for poison at Yoktabe and for pay people they may they go kill it for prison. Now we understand why. Now we understand why they do those things where they do for Dr. Eba, including the prank where they make for you for London. Now we understand why. When I hear this one, when I hear, now in this, when I go hear from Field Marshal SSF, from Chris Anu brother, I see the talk openly for October 2019. When I hear what Chris Anu brother SSF talk, when I hear.
Right and day. No, them days. Yes. Make them come, no. Right and day. I want to for the people. I like my people.
We like you too, Field Marshal.
And I like the numbers. I like all the chiefs. And I like all the become. Now, there's one thing I want to say. Something that I go talk about. I appreciate Minister Paul Tasso from Mombin. Minister Paul Tasso from Mombin. There's one thing I want to say. Something that I go talk about. I appreciate Minister Paul Tasso from Mombin. When I know you, Paul Tasso maybe now when I minister, we minister for inside the BLM. When I know that Paul Tasso, okay. This fire, now Field Marshal for Ambazonia they talk. I appreciate also Fonkamate, Yerenem na Fontem Boniface. When I don't like it too, me, Field Marshal, I appreciate Paul Tasso. When they sponsor Red Dragon, I appreciate from the face. When I don't like it too, me, Field Marshal, I appreciate Paul Tasso. When they sponsor Red Dragon, I appreciate from me, Field Marshal, I appreciate Paul Tasso. When they sponsor Red Dragon, I appreciate from when they sponsor Red Dragon.
The evidence be very clear for all now. A colonial state minister, when I be one of the directors in charge of the presidency of La République du Cameroon, openly for October 1, when did he do the celebration for Ambazonia Independence Day? Field Marshal open him up there now. Say na the Cameroon state minister Paul Tasso na he the sponsor Red Dragons. He no hide them. No be na something we talk am for back. He talk am for October 1 for 2019. Openly. Because they signed the deal. And that's why una be see why they be kill other forces with the day for the BLM with another under the Red Dragons. Every other force will not be there under the Red Dragons. All those boys them, they kill them. From Smalley and the rest, Godfather and the rest, they wipe all them out. When Godfather, they go carry out the action for burn the rubber factory, plantation factory. They hunt them down within 1 week. They kill all them. Now we understand why. Now we understand why they killed General Ivo. Now we understand why Eric Tato and Don Pasho through Samuel Sako and Chris Anu. They advocate for Ivory die until they finally kill General Ivo. All for end the liberation. Because according to the World Bank report, AGOVCE hardline position for stand for total independence. It means that the Ambazonia Defense Forces it being the only group on the ground where it stand for total independence. All the other one them, where they don't fool them, lie for them. They don't rally all them. For give Sako and Chris Anu the negotiating currency for go negotiate, for go sign the federation deal with Cameroon. For them for succeed for doing, they must do away with the ADF. For them for succeed for the plan for sell Ambazonia again after 60 years. It means that they get for kill Dr. Ayaba, destroy the governing council of Ambazonia, and kill General Ivo, and therefore destroy the Ambazonia Defense Forces, because now the only thing that will be the stand on their way for carry Ambazonia and go sell them back for La République du Cameroon. The attacks on the Ambazonia Defense Forces, the attacks on the Ambazonian people, the instructions for Guian, say may they cut Ambazonia, their hands, their foot, their fingers, all be being a part of the game for destroy the process of independence, for turn the people them against the Ambazonia liberation, so that the people they go surrender. Therefore, Sako and Chris Anu, they go push now, say, make the war come to an end. The Ambazonian people, they not fight La République du Cameroon. You know, they not get the money for fight Cameroon. They not get the money for resist Cameroon. They suffer down the over too much. So better me will just go take federation. And the whole agenda that. Whereas, from the beginning, they be already go sign the deal. So Cameroon be the guide all these activists them, including Eric Tato and Mark Barretta, where they be the push all these Sako for front. Every person be know what he be the doing. It be all a part of a network. For make sure say the nationalist movement of AGOVC, it not get the popular support. So that the popular support, it go be pushed now for the Sakoi and Chris Anu IG. And it go be determined by all these activists them, where they think say their popularity, it go change the direction of the liberation. So they push all kind of movements. That's why even when Mark Barretta can launch the program where they call and say National AK, they raise the money. They can run National AK campaign 2, they raise the money. They can't lie the Ambazonian people, say they want build something where they call and say National Army. All it be being a part of the game, part of the manipulation for deceive the people them, stop the ADF and AGOVC from receiving funds from the public, so that Sako go to launch my trip to Buea for this side. For the other side, Mark Barretta and Eric Tato, they will launch their National AK campaign for make sure say the ADF as the National Liberation Army in not receive public funding. So why they raise my trip to Buea money, they embezzle them. Eric Tato and Mark Barretta, they raised their own money for this side. Till today, they not ever present one gun to the Ambazonian people them. The only money Ambazonia they see them, now Mark Barretta a country Sunday, we do them publicly, and the Ambazonian people it take the money, divide them for for the forces them. Now the other, but the money for the National AK1, National AK2, no Ambazonia, they never ever be shown one AK. The money for about 6 months, consistent fundraising of 6 months for the National Army, till today, no Ambazonia, not ever see one gun. And there is no soldier on the ground where they hook up, they show Ambazonia people saying a National Army soldier this. Never. Or it be been a part of the manipulative strategy, the deceptive strategy for soak the money from Ambazonians and frustrate the people them. So that Sako and Chris Anu, they'll go surrender Ambazonia for a premature negotiation. Forget the discussion on federation. I bring on all these updates based on the facts, the information, the World Bank report information. Now an eye opener for every Ambazonian. Now an eye opener for all we. Regardless of what you be believed before, regardless of how they don't fool you, regardless of how they don't manipulate you, the World Bank report don't tell you who say you be to put your money. If you be to give your money for county by county, you be to give your money, you not be know, so I not blame you. They be deceitful now. But now when I know why, all the money where they raise them for all the draft 1 and draft 2, why none of you not go down? When I now know the reason. Because if that money go down, those forces, they will get guns. Cameroon no want time. Now we understand why they raise all this money in Bezela. Now we understand the manipulation on the Ambazonian people there. I hope say the World Bank report, it go redeem una. I hope say una attacks on Dr. Ayaba. The World Bank report, it can't tell una. I don't always tell the Ambazonian people that. Anything people that they do, and they get a reason. The hidden agenda for destroy Ambazonia and create a corrupt pay-to-play system. Sell the Ambazonian people back for La Republic of Cameroon and leave the people that made them suffer for the rest of their lives. It be been at the game. It be been at the game of the embedded agents. Now we now understand why La Republic of Cameroon create fake flyers. And now all Sako activists, they share them. Now we understand why La Republic of Cameroon it create fake flyers for AGOFC leadership, fake flyers for ADF leadership, and make all kind of propaganda against the ADF. Now we understand. Because now the only thing where it stand for their way for take back Ambazonia and keep the people them under a new system of occupation. A new system of re-annexation. A new system of recolonization through the new Munas. Paul Buea don't place Chris Anu and Sako as the new Munas for sell the Ambazonian people back into the slavery of occupation. Not be na me a talk am, na World Bank report. So if you don't be deceived from 2019, 2020, 2021, now na time for you for dust yourself up, for forgive yourself, for accepting to be deceived and to be manipulated, for forgive yourself, for go to donate, give all your contributions for sell Ambazonia back to the Republic of Cameroon. For take all the money we don't donate them, none of you need to go for ground, and you not get no way for hold them accountable. So I want to make you forgive yourself, because I know say you not be know. The World Bank report now don't can open all money eye. You don't open your eye. You don't open your papa their eye. Every force on the ground where you think say you need fight for what they call and say restoration forces, you need fight for Ambazonia. Your actions amount to nothing for Ambazonia. That's why recently, as I can present them for now, for the last 2 months, La Republique du Cameroon for speed up this process, because if you know say the lie will be exposed. This World Bank report will be supposed to come on since for February 2021. We'll be done here for February say a report from World Bank, it will be published. So be very happy. So they take their time, do all their work. I'll be no say, when this report come out outside, part of it, remember, they don't write this report now for the Ambazonian people them. They write the report now for tell the world the political and economic conditions where they take place for the Northwest and Southwest and their consequences to Cameroon and to the world. So the report not be now for the Ambazonian people them. I just say these things them they concern the Ambazonian people them for tell the Ambazonian people them the truth about the state of their liberation. So all those people that they call them like JK, all those fake activism like Paul Nilon, now we don't understand. All those guys that they call them people like Nanchop, we don't understand now why did they do what they do. All those paid activists, we don't understand now they be push all now for go become new slaves again. After 6 years of slavery, a group of people deliberately, purposefully, intentionally decide for sell 8 million people for their own survival for life. Because they come from America. They don't go school. They don't take trades. They don't take courses for provide a decent life for their families. So the Ambazonian liberation become the cheapest means for quick blood money, for quick fame, for quick position. Even when things like Uber, the day, will make up to $4,000 to $5,000 a month when you put in the effort. For at least live a decent life. While you take the time for develop new skills. Courses the day way if you take technical courses, you feel make up to $70,000 a year as salary for courses of only 6 months. 9-month courses the day. Where if you take them, you go make up to $75,000 to $85,000 for annual salary. $85,000 is about 40 million CFA. You go live a decent life. You go fit buy a better house. You go fit drive better motor. You fit take care of a family. So, Ambazonia defeat of Cameroon. The strategy where Dr. Ibabi lay them out for the Ambazonian people. According to the World Bank, it be guaranteed for deliver independence for the Ambazonian people. Then. So they therefore stop the liberation as quickly as possible so that the ADF it no go over big and it no go over grow and it no go continue to be the dominant force on the ground. Over the last 2 months, for La République du Cameroon, for change how Ambazonia they think, they do what they call and say sacrificial intelligence. All these forces that they support Sako, La République du Cameroon sacrifice their soldier them. They call it sacrificial intelligence. For push, make Ambazonia they see Sako like say Sako they fight. Like say the forces under Sako they fight. For speed up this process. That's why over the last 2 months they do sacrificial intelligence. As we present them for now. The action where they carry out for Manu. They put 2 dead soldiers them on the truck. When I see how they shoot the dead soldier them. And then they talk say they don't carry harvest. But they not burn the truck. The truck will be worth millions to the colonial state. They not burn them. The action where they carry them for Bamali. When I see what happened with those 2 soldiers, then where they talk say they kill them. And then they take their bulletproof, take their boots, and then they say they take their gun too. The big La Republique military camion will be there for back for that action, for the place they take the action. They not burn them. They not burn them. They not burn them. The one where they just carry them for Bali 2 weeks ago, where they move 4 dead body or 5 dead body for the truck. When I see how they show that video, but they not show now whether that truck, how the truck will move. They only show a video for a packed truck, and they shoot, but you see, they say no bullet not come up for the other side. There is no counter shooting. An AK-47 need to penetrate a car. Person should inside a car. You shoot with a small AK. And then you go for there. You go open door. Dead body they come out, they fall for ground. How they manage kill them? They not burn that truck. When I say that car, that La République du Cameroun armor truck, they not still burn them. May you understand the game. We now wise up and understand the game. We are there for a very critical juncture. The World Bank report now is savior for the Ambazonian people then. It don't come for can save Ambazonians. Cameroon will already be defeated. So Cameroon don't become very desperate. The desperation of Cameroon, it make Cameroon start to launch all these social media attacks. Even today as we talk, La République du Cameroun military intelligence, they move out a fake flyer, talk say the SG of ADF, he don't resign. Guess who share them? JK. He don't carry them, go for Facebook. 2 days ago, they move a fake flyer. Say Cecilia Mabo, he live there. Gofsi, now because of this disease. When I don't ask myself, why be saying only ADF and Gofsi La République make fake flyer and fake videos? Why be say all Cameroon fake journalists, paid journalists, they only focus only on Dr. Yaba? According to the World Bank report, Dr. Yaba and the Governing Council of Ambazonia, now the only movement where they stand for total independence of Ambazonia. And Dr. Yaba is strategy we give for the Ambazonian people. Now they destroy Cameroon. That's why the paid Cameroon agents, no wonder the Ambazonia Governing Council, if you don't gather all this evidence and label Samuel Sako and Chris Anu through their actions as infiltrators. Now we want to know why. We now understand how the Governing Council work. They work now based on evidence. Once they gather the evidence, and the evidence be consistent with the actions of infiltrators and actions of spoilers, that's why they make the publication to all the diplomatic community for say the actions of Sako and Chris Anu now actions of spoilers and infiltrators. Now the World Bank report don't can talk say yes, Sako and Anu now 2 top agents of La République du Cameroun will be embedded in Ambazonian liberation, according to World Bank report. Forgive yourself for believing the lies. Go forgive yourself. Now next, once you forgive yourself, what's next? All these activists, will they push these people then for front and support that process? Will they be no saying that they go on? Mark Barretta owe the Ambazonian people an apology for the deception of Ambazonians, so too is Eric Tato. For all the accusations on the leader of Ambazonian War of Independence, the War la République du Cameroon. Say the Ambazonian Defense Force is the War la République du Cameroon. Now it don't come off outside, according to the World Bank report. Now them be actually the work and the still work with la République du Cameroon. They owe the Ambazonian people then an apology for the deception and the manipulation. Wait till Mohammed what people they know. Cameroon don't be defeated from Ambazonia. So they be very desperate. They not be defeated not because we get too many soldiers. No. They be defeated by the intelligence of the strategy with Dr. Iba designer for the Ambazonian people. And that strategy, it don't become now the best strategy for any group of people where they want to liberate themselves for the 21st century. And as time they go on, when I go see say other groups of people across the globe, they go use the strategy, they go use the Ambazonian strategy as the benchmark for achieve political objective, for liberate themselves and end the tyranny and occupation on any group of people across the globe. The defeat of Cameroon, not because of the wisdom of Dr. Ibacho, not because of his brilliance, not because of intelligence. The Ambazonian Defense Forces, not been a force to make movies, not been a force for can't please the public. They give them a roadmap. They give them a strategy. They work day and night for implement that strategy. The Supreme Commander of Ambazonia Defense Forces, General Efang, and part of their Kamasudan, they don't be on a mission for 1 week. But for some of you now only for can't tell now fast here. Now liberation. They go continue for capture territory and consolidate our gains for liberated areas. The truth, it don't be out for all now. Any force on the ground, any commander, grandpa, you need to fight now for independence. So, World Bank don't tell you now. We need to fight for independence. No pity. You need to fight for independence. We need to fight now for something else. We need to fight now for la République du Cameroon. We need to fight now for maintain a one Cameroon agenda. Now that's what World Bank don't talk am. So grandpa of Bali, the roadway don't block him for Bali. You need block him now for the Ambazonian people then. You need block him now on behalf of la République du Cameroon. All we na action so we na di carry am. We na di carry am na for go give Sako and Chris Anu for continue their talk Upobia for one Cameroon. Not be for Ambazonia. So when we be the talk before, we na be thinking a joke. But we'll be very happy, say the biggest financial institution will control the world in terms of money. They don't come put out a report for all una for see am. No argument, no day again. That's not way you will say be based on interpretation, it be straightforward. Straightforward. The right and word for word. Any man, you don't need big book for Noah for reader. As long as you feel read them by yourself. The information be out for every person for reader. So now na decision time. At the time this for we for cleanse ourselves from the mistakes of the past. Now time this for we as a people for save the future of Ambazonia. Now time this for we for rally ourselves. Once you know the truth, you go for embrace that truth and align with that truth. The governing council don't stand the test of time for a credibility and the integrity of the leadership, uncompromising from day one. The World Bank report, a report card for Buea for the Ambazonian people them. The one way they work with Buea and the one way they work for Ambazonia. The choice is yours. And your destiny. You rise up for fight for Ambazonia. You rise up for say one freedom. You rise up for say one independence. Now the time for you. For let go of your disappointments. Let go of your mistakes. Let go of your arguments. But the time is for you. The time is for you and your family. The time is for all uncle them and auntie them. The time is for all papa them and mommy them. We're going to start afresh. It will be too late. First, count your losses. Count your losses of your investment under the Cameroon agenda through Sako and Anu. Count your losses. Cut your losses. You know, but you got to draw a line. Now I don't know. Cut your losses. Cut your losses. And change course. Stand for Ambazonia. We don't want one about popularity. A dangerous disease. A dangerous disease. When I watch what will happen over the next few days and weeks, as this report don't come out, can expose these things. When I watch what will happen. Cameroon again for manipulate Ambazonians for a premature negotiation. That game don't be defeated through the strategy of the governing council of Ambazonia. Dr. Ababibi, a very smart man, for warn the Ambazonian people them for the premature commitment for a negotiation. We not be get head, it not be get tail, it not be get left, it not be get right. It be one way. That's why Cameroon be desperate. When I don't defeat them. Now we go for align ourselves. For which it go guarantee the independence of our people them. Last week and Saturday. Sorry, the Saturday before the one we just passed. When I remember for our interview, when we asked one of the most brilliant Cameroon American citizen, Professor Patrice Ngana, an honest man of integrity, a great scholar, a great leader, big man for book, a man where the teacher of Princeton and also for Sunnybrook University. So if you understand the kind caliber of person, when we ask you, you know say La République and Ambazonia, they not get any official act of union. It look Ambazonia there for I and the world for I. He say yes. I ask he say, but why Cameroon they still maintain say Ambazonia and a part of Cameroon? He said that they do them now as a means of survival because of Ambazonia resources. And the only reason they do it because of the army where they don't belong. For intimidate and suppress the people them. Now, the people, they don't rise up. They don't defeat that army. They don't defeat those gendarmes. They don't defeat those bees. They don't defeat those police. The deception don't be exposed. Would the defeat and how they call it? Would the defeat and the desperation of Cameroon, it became a new factor. We must start to put our money now for the liberation of Ambazonia. Most of the money we don't donate them, it don't end for Maryland. For destroy Ambazonia on the ground. Now, the money where Ambazonians, they donate them for egg of sea, it don't end for ground zero. Every penny where we donate them, it go for ground zero. When I don't see all the guns, when I don't see all the forces, when I don't see all the soldiers. So not until if you question them. For February of 2021, the leader can launch the stabilization forces, the special forces of ADF. It take with 3 months for raise the money. It take with 3 months for train the forces. It take with 3 months for buy the weapons. It take with 3 months for equip the forces. It take 3 months for build the size of that force and give them those kind of materials, all for 3 months. The most successful program for Ambazonia liberation. As the coordinator of that program, we achieved the greatest level of success, more than any other program where Ambazonia don't ever launch. For take an idea, an ideology, a concept, and actualize them into a physical reality. For give our people the hope. They're going to see those forces and when I see the size of the program so that all we go understand what the egg of be, what the egg of stand for, and why did they succeed. Why the Republic no go ever fit for reverse the progress we don't make them, and why they infiltrate us. They don't come to their game. They don't come to an end. Make a show now. Those forces for only 3 months. What you will do them for 3 months. What you will achieve them for 3 months as a people. What you will be capable of. Now pride for Ambazonia. When I watch.
Be na military already on ground, a military this way they control ground zero. AJ the army of the people. When I see them, na military already. We fight war ground, a military this way they control ground.
These forces, we will not see them. Are the forces of the stabilization forces or the special forces of ADF than this. ADF are the biggest force on the ground. This one will not see them, not only their special forces. It take with 3 months for raise all the money for buy all those weapons for those forces. It take with 3 months for bring person from America, for bring a person we don't work with American special forces, what they call them say Navy SEAL, for moving from America, carry enter for ground zero, for you for go spend 1 month for train those forces, and then bring another person. We go for can spend another month for train those forces. It take with 3 months for raise the money, 3 months for train the forces, 3 months for buy the uniforms, 3 months for get all those materials to the ground, and then they can launch them for una. Now 3 months. All the money we donate them, we can show una, we make a presentation for una. Say that the guns and this, that the forces and this, we not trust for the leadership of AGOFC, we not trust for the ADF, we not trust for the vision, we not trust for the strategy. We go deliver independence to the Ambazonian people them. We go deliver freedom to the Ambazonian people them. We go deliver a free homeland for our people them. The agenda, the Paul Buea agenda, for by Ambazonian liberation through Sako and Samuel and Sako and Chris Anu don't fail. Paul Buea agenda for use Ambazonians, just like they use Foncha and Muna, for carry Ambazonia, then go sell them for La République du Cameroon. 60 years later, history won't repeat itself. But this time around, you and me, the brave generation, who don't stand as the vanguard for protect the people, their aspirations, for protect their dignity, for protect what they fight for. The special forces, the stabilization forces, now a project for show the Ambazonian people, say everything be possible with egg of sea. Everything be possible with egg of sea. We not believe for shortcut. We not believe for conshot. We not believe for conny. We believe for one thing. We believe for vision. We believe for strategy. We believe for purpose. We believe for hard work. We believe, say, the secret for the liberation of Ambazonia, it go take hard work, it go take sacrifices. Now we believe that. We need to wait for the UN. We need to wait for America. We need to believe for the sacrifices of the Ambazonian people then. If we arm our people enough, we train enough forces, train enough soldiers under a command and control structure for implement the vision for the Ambazonian people, the vision for the liberation. Like now the forces that now they consolidate the ground. We believe say na hard work. We believe say we contribute our money, public accountability through results, public accountability through the provision of arming of the forces on the ground. We believe say through transparency and accountability through our consistent results. We will put those guns every month. We Ambazonian people, they donate money for egg of sea. They deliver weapons to those forces. Every fundraising when Ambazonia they raise money, whether na $40,000 or na $30,000, it immediately go on the ground for buy thousands of bullets, for buy those IEDs we wanna see, for provide the various blocks with which they need them. Any person waiting for AGOFC and ADF, you know the track record. You know, say the moment they raise that money, it go for places where they buy materials and they deliver them to the various generals and commanders for the various places where they need for enforcer, for reinforce the forces. Now an institution, if you trust them, not being a politicians. It be made up of hard-working people them. It be made up of sound men and women with character. And so the stabilization forces, now evidence, now the biggest evidence for the biggest project with AGOFC, if he show the Ambazonian people for their achievement for just 3 months. 90s, when I watch.
AJ, the army of the people, when I see him, na military already. We fight war with Buea. We fight war with AK-47, G3, M16 chain cutters. Na see him, Nigeria by action. Na see they were part of the battalion in this. Na see him. No be easy. Yes, today the 8th January. So they'll look at so, and no believer. The army this where they control ground zero. Now the army this on ground zero. Now we see how. No be mob. It is so under the Supreme General of the ADF. A general by action, no be general by mob. I see battalion, a battalion this. Wow. Ambassador, I pray for the begin there. And I pray for the Supreme General of the ADF. Now the battalion there, they bring independence of this country. Now then this. When I see them. Well equipped. This is the army of the people. The army there, they control ground zero. Ambassador, I see them. It don't be easy, but now God will get power. No be by power, but by the grace of God. Official.
Yeah.
That the biggest of all number that be this.
Thank the AGOFC ADF for their handwork. If you wanna see ADF and AGOFC, if you wanna look and find on a handwork than this, we thank God. SKI! I hear you! SKI! I hear you! Who's your for commandant?
Wait till I don't see him. I project that with the leader of a war of independence. It be appoint me as the coordinator for the project of the stabilization forces. We deliver the results of now. The most successful project for Ambazonia liberation. 3 months. Which one I don't see him at the work of only 3 months that. Everything be possible for with AGOFC. When the people, they get a visionary leader, a strategic leader, a purposeful leader, a leader with integrity and character, a leader we believe for hard work, everything be possible. Everything be possible for any man or woman where he believes it through hard work. If he achieve any vision, everything be possible. Now, what you want show and for Ambazonia this because now the country this one belong. One build a country on hard work. So we will take Ambazonia and turn them into the most developed country on this face of the earth. We no go do them through juju. We no go do them through Odeshi. We no go do them through Nyongo. All those things. Now act of laziness for people where they define quick money by killing other people. China don't change China and be one of the fastest growing economy for the world in the last 20 years through hard work. The Prime Minister of Dubai, he don't develop a country where the world will ever see him. It take 10 years. When 9/11 happened, he realized and said the world don't change. All their money would be put for, would be invested for United States. They withdraw most of that money, carry and go back for their country. Through vision, through hard work, it changed Dubai. Today, now a development miracle. They take water, they reclaim water, they build the most beautiful cities. More than 10 cities where they don't build them for Dubai in the last 10 years. All for the city they would have been for sea. They take sea, they build city on top. Through hard work. Manipulation will liberate the people. Now hard work. If we reduce the death, the number of people that they kill them, if we reduce the number of people that stay for bush, if we reduce the number of people that be homeless, if we reduce the number of pain, if we reduce the pain and the suffering on the Ambazonian people, them, if we reduce them, if we reduce the number of people that catch them, go put them for prison. If we focus on the vision, we focus on the strategy, we focus on waiting, even the World Bank don't talk say, now go guarantee for give Ambazonia the independence. The Governing Council of Ambazonia, under the leadership of Dr. Ayabacho, are the only thing that we guarantee for give our people the way they want them. That the only thing that will stand between Cameroon taking over back Ambazonia and the Ambazonian people. Now, it's that they give poor sleepless night. The plans of the infiltrators, they don't be exposed by World Bank report. Now, a time for every Ambazonian for focus, for fund, and for arm the ADF as the only force, according to World Bank, we stand up for the independence of Ambazonia. So if you donate your money, whether not for who, make you know say you still push the agenda, the agenda of one Cameroon. World Bank do rate all now. We not stop for fund groups them where they under agents of Cameroon for carry our people them go sell them back to Cameroon. We not focus on fund on a National Liberation Army where they did enough for liberate the land. They did enough for defend the hopes and the aspirations of the Ambazonian people them. And they call all the generals and commanders, make them realize themselves and join their brothers and sisters where they don't stand for fight for the liberation of homeland. Before we go, tomorrow we're going to be on a Thursday. Tomorrow we're going to be on a Thursday for August 5th, for exactly 7 p.m. Ambazonian time, the Vice President of Governing Council of Ambazonia, Dr. Julius Nyi, he go get one of the most powerful outing for discuss with the Ambazonian people them. Also, the spokesperson of AGOVC, Comrade Akoson Raymond, he go also join that conversation, and me too, I go join that conversation with the Vice President of Governing Council of Ambazonia for talk for the Ambazonian people them. All right? One tell what people say, ACN, the Ambazonia Communication Network, now it is for Amos. Amos na the satellite where all the TV station them, where they broadcast within Ambazonia and within La Republique, all most of the TV station them, they did for that satellite, where they call and say Amos or Amos. Okay? So the ACN TV now, it don't move from the other satellite, and it did now for this satellite where it be accessible by most Ambazonians. So every Ambazonian, if you only use your remote control, just your remote control for find ACN. And if you not fit find ACN, all what you need for do na for rescan your decoder. Once you rescan your decoder, you go launch ACN and you go fit for receive ACN for your TV. The reason na because the AGOVC, you want make ACN, make Ambazonia, make it be very easy for the Ambazonian people then for get access for ACN so that they fit listen to the truth, watch the truth, participate for the truth, and be part of the inspiration, the construction, and the liberation of the Ambazonian people then. For be part of their own liberation so that then go be the people that will talk for themselves. We also want to tell our people to say, whether you do that for ground zero, you want to advertise something, you want to report news, you want to report the conditions of road for place where you day, you want to report about the conditions of water for place where you day, you want to report about the conditions of hospitals for place where you day. If you make those videos, if you don't want to put your face for day, if you just make those videos, you show the water, the quality of water, the quality of road, the quality of hospitals, the quality of the government office where you work there. All right? If you make these stories, ACN na the voice of Ambazonia for all Ambazonian people there. All the defense forces on the ground, ACN na una voice. For every lawyer, we want to talk about Ambazonia, ACN na your voice. For any person who study human rights, you want to talk about Ambazonia, ACN na your voice. For any activist, where you truly stand for Ambazonia independence, you want to talk for Ambazonia, or you want to educate Ambazonia, whether you want to talk about how people they fit reduce stress, you want to talk about how people they feel learn better, you want to talk about farming, you want to talk about how people they fit take care of themselves, you want to teach people them how to build, for start business and grow the business, ACN, now the voice for Ambazonian people them. Whether you be a musician and you don't create your song, and you want make me be popular, ACN at the place where you will fit advertise your music, promote your music, promote our culture, promote our people them, promote our tradition as Ambazonians. ACN, the voice for all man. All right? Now the talk this way, I be talking about take the time for talk for today. As all when I don't know, the truth, it don't be told. As all when I know, that people in this, where they be carry Ambazonia them, they don't work with poor since 2019. Any man figure read the World Bank report. This thing have been about against some people them, and for the salvation of the Ambazonian people them, and for defend the aspirations, the hopes, and the dreams of the Ambazonian people them. Therefore, honor the lives of all the people that don't die. Therefore, honor all the ones that were there for prison. That's all we need for speak this truth. That's all we need for defend this truth. Therefore, honor all the ones that were their houses. They don't be burned down, don't be destroyed. Therefore, honor all the ones that don't rape them. Therefore, honor all the ones that they stay for bush. Therefore, honor all the ones that don't be internally displaced. Therefore, honor all the refugees. That's what we need for stand on principles. That's what we need for act on truth. For honor the dignity of our people. Not been about a person. Not about the destiny of the Ambazonian people. Not about the dignity of the Ambazonian people. Not about the freedom of the Ambazonian people. That's why we act on truth. We stand on truth. We speak truth, because the truth shall set you free if you act on it. Ambazonia be founded on truth. You must defend them with truth. Come back home. Egg of Sea, now home for the liberation. The ADF, now home for the liberation. We're gonna come back home. Together, make we deliver a free homeland for our people. On Saturday, we're going to be at the 7th of August for 2021. The Egg of Sea will do a big public fundraising. That fundraising now for increase the stabilization on the ground with a special focus for increase the arming of forces them for Buea. We want increase the arming of forces of ADF forces for Buea. Next, September the camp. We'll get thousands and thousands and thousands of Ambazonian picking them. Will be out of school. We don't create community schools. And thousands of people they go schools. Some of those schools, they don't get roof. Some of those schools, they don't get benches. Some of those schools, they don't get windows. Some of those schools, they don't get ceiling. Part of the fundraising now for start, for improve the conditions, and the environment within these schools, for give we're picking them better learning spaces. For buy uniforms from the Ambazonia picking them, for buy school shoe for picking them, for provide free books for Ambazonia picking them. For all the picking they did for liberated areas or liberated territories, all the community schools, and for they, our goal, I say, as picking the one go back to school, we will be able, all these thousands of picking them, for provide every Ambazonia picking with free books, free uniform, and shoes. We picking the few wear them to go school. For make sure say these volunteer community teachers, they get small allowance. They get the materials for teach while picking them under our own educational system. We don't reject Cameroon colonial school system. We don't create an empowering alternative. We'll be unique for our people then. Now the path for independence this. Not be like When we reject Cameroon system, we must create an alternative. For create that alternative, we must consolidate our gains on liberated territories. You know, if you go negotiate with empty hand, you must control territory, you must increase your control for that territory and increase the territory with the controller. The leader don't talk say, now 5 states the Ambazonia, the need for liberation for Ambazonia for be free. 5. Now 5 strategic states where the leader don't put the information for outside. Those states, they must be totally liberated. Once we do them, Ambazonia will become free. So it'll be very exciting for be part of the future of Ambazonia. It'll be very exciting for be part of this generation, for do this work on behalf of our people then. So we look forward for seeing every person on Saturday, because at the time this way, all we now get for start for come back together as one people, for end the suffering on our people, for end Cameroon tyranny on our people, and for give our people them the dignity what they deserve in a free Ambazonia. The right to life and the right to freedom. The right to freedom and the right for the pursuit of happiness and human development is start through the liberation of our homeland. Una get a good night. I will thank una for taking for say when I don't take the time this evening for participate for this discussion. This one, a part of the sacrifices and this way all with the maker. I go walk, I live, I drive, come from my small studio for can't do this work. I go back, go walk till extra time for make up for this time. Now the daily sacrifice and that. Now the commitment and that. Now the dedication that. Because I believe for which people they fight for. I believe for the vision. I believe for the strategy, because I see the results and I see the impact. So all we must make the necessary sacrifice. Just as Mami that they make the sacrifice for every Monday goes down. Just like people that they make the sacrifice for school, for the colonial school boycott. Just like business people that they make the sacrifice. Just like soldiers that they make the sacrifice. Just like refugees that they make the sacrifice. Ambazonian diaspora must also make the financial sacrifice through their financial commitment for the liberation of homeland. We'll see you now on Saturday. But before then, tomorrow, we'll talk with you when all we meet up, when me, Comrade Akoson, and the Vice President of Governing Council of Ambazonia will talk for all now tomorrow. It will be a great outing by the Vice President. You don't still want to see. So tomorrow, I'm going to prepare because we'll be asking very tough questions. All right? So we love una plenty. Una take care, yeah. Mommy and Papa, they una take care. Soldier, them una take care. Una stay strong. We go always there for una. Now the work that una don't give we. All right? We salute all una for una contributions. May God bless all man. Una take care. Good night.